Hey, American Cage. Today I'm here with Kim Chronchio, and she has been a member of Stronger for the time we're talking over 3 years now, and that's such a long time. Most people make it 3 to 6 months, and I'm just really curious to find out what it's been that's kept her there this long and the results that she's seen. So, Kim, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and share your experience with us. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's go back 3 years. Before that, before you were here, before you were training, kind of share what you were going through. What was the big obstacle, the big issue that you were trying to overcome that led you to start training at Stronger Personal Training?
Okay. Before I became a member there, I had a few years, probably about 2 years, where I had a lot of, I had like a lot of loss, like personal loss in my family. So it became like a really stressful time for me. And at that time, I was probably the most unhappy and the unhealthy that I've ever been. I sort of snapped out of it and jumped on the fad wagon for like whatever workout seemed to be, what was going on, whether it was like boot camps, it was at home videos, what people were talking about, I would do, and I'd be pretty successful at it. But I'd get really bored, and I was sort of doing that like alone. And I felt that, I really was looking for some sort of like support network. To really push my health to like where I knew it could be. So there was one point in my life, I was like over 200 pounds right before I started at the gym, and I was able to lose 70 pounds on my own. But I didn't feel like, I felt good about it, but I felt like there was still something sort of missing in my day to day. And so I really wanted to be part of a community.
Okay.
And that's sort of why I looked to them.
So you were looking for that community. Mentioned, right? You were
Mm-hmm.
looking for something a little bit different. There's a million and one places, right? You can go to all kinds of
Right.
things, and you tried a lot of the fads that you were saying. So what was it about Stronger that, I guess, attracted you to it?
Well, I had a friend that was working out there for a couple of years, and I had a conversation with him, and we talked about what the structure was and what type of workout it was, and I thought that sounded really interesting. I like the fact that they switched it up every day. I get very bored easily, so the thought of just having something that was fresh and new day to day was definitely the attractive piece of it, as well as being part of a community that were sort of all had the same interest.
Were you nervous going in?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember like my first day being like, I don't even know if I want to do this. And the first, I forget how much it was for like the first trial, but it wasn't that much. And I like teetered of like, oh, well, it's already paid for. Do I have to show up? So I think I like called him about 7 times and said, what can I expect? What can I expect? So I was definitely nervous walking in.
Well, that's actually a good thing now that we're discussing that, because people watching this may be their first time. So what can people expect when they walk in? What can they expect when they walk in the door?
Okay, so before you even get in the door, music is playing, so it's it's uplifting, it's a good atmosphere to sort of walk into. There'll be someone greeting you right at the desk, asking you how your day is, good to see you, you ready for this workout? So all positivity the second that you walk in, which is great. You get ready for your workout, you walk through the glass doors, and then you're sort of in your temple. The trainer's waiting for you. First thing out of his mouth is, how you feeling? Anything hurting you? Talk to me. And for a while I just thought that was small talk, but realistically they're asking because they care, because if there is something that's going on and, is bothering you, whether it's physically, emotionally even, they want to know about it, and they'll make sure that they're there to really guide you through your workout to make sure that you're utilizing the time, to the best of your ability too.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds, it's just like a very positive vibe, very positive
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere. Okay, so can you describe that a little bit? Is it like a community? Is it like that? Are you one-on-one? Like, how is that energy all within that?
Yeah, so it's very different from other gyms where you walk in and you sort of feel like you're an individual contributor to your health. You think that you're part of something, you feel that you're part of something. So I walk in, and whether I'm going at like 8:30 in the morning, 10 in the morning, like I know exactly who's going to be there. So you get used to seeing the same faces, and they're welcoming you as well. We have our whole little groups, and very different from like a clique or somewhere that you'd feel uncomfortable entering into. We've become friends, and so it doesn't matter who's on the floor. You walk in with the same goal and the same dedication from your trainer, and it's a very comfortable atmosphere. There's no can I do this better? Am I stronger? It's more than, the person working out next to me. It's really just pushing that person and just wanting to see them succeed as much as you want yourself to succeed.
It's like a family.
Absolutely. It is a family.
Okay.
It's actually, I see them more than I do my own family. So I would say so for sure.
And so has this fulfilled, right, you were looking for that connection, that community. Has this fulfilled that for you?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no turning back for me. Like it's not even a thought in my mind to try to find something else because, like I said, that was the one piece that I wanted to feel part of something inside the gym, outside the gym, just that support system and that networking system. And I definitely found it there stronger.
Okay. And I'm curious as well. People who are watching this, where we talk maybe brand new to some of this, maybe they're not experienced in working out, or maybe they've never done anything before. So if they walk in, can they do this? Are things going to be modified so that they can get through the workouts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So I had a little bit of knowledge about working out, or I mean, even if it's just terminology, but your very first day, someone's going to go in with you as the trainer is going to walk you through as if it's the first workout you've ever had, which is great. And it's not about dumbing it down or making you feel that that you're not able to do the workout. All it really is they just want to make sure that you have the right form. It's safety first, and you're really pushing yourself the way the movement is intended to.
Okay.
So all levels, all ages, all levels, whether you have an injury or not, it's the place to be because they're really going to gear your workout to what you physically can or can't do.
Okay. Now, that's been a huge thing that you were looking for, is that connection, that community, feeling like you're a part of something. But the other side of it, I'm sure, has been the results. So let's dive into that. So
Okay.
I guess just share with me what you've seen results-wise during this time.
Okay, so over the course of the 3 years or so that I've been working out there, I've been able to lose about 20 pounds. But the important piece there, it's sustainable. It wasn't an up and down type thing for me. It's not a seasonal weight loss. Some people see that in their workouts. It's something that I've been able to maintain. I've lost probably over 10% body fat. And so those are the physical pieces of it. I had ACL surgery in March of this year. I tore my ACL, and it was on a Tuesday, and I was back in the gym on Friday. And in the last 7 months between rehabbing at the gym, I'm the strongest I've ever been. Physically, emotionally, mentally, to come back from an injury that sort of took the wind out of my sails and feel really good about where I am now. It's pretty incredible. So
Yeah.
that's been a surprisingly a really, really good journey for me.
And have you noticed as well, right, that, as you mentioned, a key word in there, emotionally, when you go through something like that, right, a lot of ups and downs, you start getting down, am I ever going to be able to do this stuff again, those types of things. So have you noticed the fact that you've been a part of this community and you've been doing this training, have you noticed that it's been easier to handle maybe some of those emotional moments?
Absolutely. When I was scheduling my surgery, I thought for sure, I'll be that person sitting on the couch ordering pizza, right? Feeling sorry for myself. And I didn't even have a chance to feel sorry for myself, to be honest with you. I think it was the day of that night, I had trainers reaching out to me saying, when are you coming back? I wasn't able to drive for about 6 weeks, and they opened up the gym to whoever brought me there was able to work out with me. So they really, really made it easy for me to come back and not even miss a beat. I would show up and they'd have an area for me to work out that, whether I was on crutches or whatever, that it was, so I didn't have to move from station to station. Everything was just like there waiting for me. So it was a really good feeling, and I honestly wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of the trainers there.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're not a number. It sounds like they truly care.
Absolutely.
About what you're
Absolutely.
doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you noticed during this time, too, that as you're training, working out, you were doing things before, but have you noticed a shift maybe in energy levels as well? Is it easier to kind of get through the day, things like that?
Yeah, I definitely think my energy level is the highest it's ever been. Even on days where I'm sort of sluggish, I know the only way that I'm going to snap out of that is to actually go to the gym, which before you would think, I'm too tired, I need a nap, and then I'll feel better from that. And it's the exact opposite. Once I get my gym fix, it's like, okay, now that's the reset button that I needed, and I feel so much better after it. So yeah, absolutely. Energy is
Okay.
completely at an all-time high, I would say.
What would you say of all the results, benefits that you've seen, what's been your favorite?
I think for me, it's funny. You go into a gym and the physical is obviously what most people focus on. I think before I started working out there, all I knew was a scale, and I knew what when I was at my heaviest, and I knew when I was doing okay, and that's really like all I focused on. So I think for me, the best part about being there is not only to feel better in my own skin, but to actually know where my health is. We do in bodies where they tell you your body fat percent, your visceral fat, things that are assorted like I never really knew about. I also learned about nutrition and how to maintain, where I want to be with my health and what I should be taking into my body and what I shouldn't be taking into my body. So that in itself has been a huge, huge just to be able to learn about my health alone, I think would be one of the biggest takeaways, for sure, outside of just the physical part.
Would you say, and it sounds like this may be a silly question, because you mentioned before, right, you were going through a tough time, right, you weren't that happy, you were depressed with things. Would you say that you're happier now and you're feeling better, not depressed?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of emotional to even sort of think about it. And I would honestly say mentally, I am the happiest and healthiest I've ever been. And that in itself is just something that I can't even put a value to.
Yeah.
It's amazing, just 1 hour a day, like going into the gym, how it can really change you, for the better.
Yeah,
and
that's huge, for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's huge.
So it's been life-changing.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
it has been life-changing.
Now, let's say someone hears your story, maybe a very similar situation to where you were a few years ago, right? And they're saying, no, this place sounds pretty cool, but they're still on the fence. Like they're 50-50.
Yeah.
What would you want to tell that person?
I would tell them, give it a shot. I can honestly say that the hardest thing is taking that first leap to signing up for something that might be out of your comfort level and you might not think it's for you. But I can tell you, coming from someone who, just minimally worked out and really was in a good spot in her life mentally, and physically, just do it. Just try it. It's the best gift you can give yourself. It honestly is. And I can only speak personally, but there's like no looking back for me. Like there's just nothing else that I need to go searching for as far as when it comes time to my, my gym routine. I found it here, and I think that a lot of people feel the same way as me.
Well, Kim, amazing story. Amazing that you've been there for as long as you have, seen the results that you're doing, and you're going to just have continued success. And I just want to wish you the best of luck with all of that.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
You take care.
You too.